got the extraordinary answer from Mick Mulvaney. He starts us off this morning from the White House. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Cecilia. Mick Mulvaney mentioned to me in the past that the corruption related to the DNC server, absolutely, no question about that. But that's it, and that's why we held up the money.
Acting White House Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney repeatedly insisted the president did nothing wrong.
So the demand for an investigation into the Democrats was part of the reason that he ordered to withhold.
Alright, so as you can tell, literally the Democrats aren't wanting to tell the truth. Literally, he was talking about the corruption of the Democrats and investigating it. What's wrong with that? If if everybody in Congress was investigating Trump, shouldn't they go to jail for no corruption? But yet they're doing this, and it's just getting crazier and crazier as time goes by because the Democrats want to make this world a socialist country, and that's not right.
It is funding will not flow unless the investigation into the Democratic server happens as well. We do that all the time with foreign policy, and I have news for everybody. Get over it. There's going to be political influence in foreign policy.
Mulvaney's words, which he later took back, directly contradicted what the president has been saying for weeks.
But there was no quid pro quo.
There was no quid pro quo.
There was no quid pro quo.
And it seemed to confuse his allies on Capitol Hill.
He admitted that military aid to Ukraine was frozen in part to put pressure on Ukraine to investigate Democrats.
So
literally, what I was saying, as I was saying, they want to get someone who's not corrupt for investigating corrupt officials in our government. And literally to promote socialism, turn us into a socialist country. And that's not exactly a good thing because they want to control our entire lives. And they shouldn't be doing this. Literally, it should not be happening this way.
You just said what you said?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know. I'd like to know what that means.
Democrats who have been investigating whether there was a quid pro quo pounced.
Things have just gone from very, very bad to much, much worse.
Mulvaney had said exactly what was going on. There was a quid pro quo.
All this unfolded as the president confirmed that his Secretary of Energy, Rick Perry, a main player in the administration's dealings with Ukraine, is resigning. The reason, unclear.
Rick has done a fantastic job at energy, but it was time.
About 5 hours after Mulvaney's press conference, he put out a written statement that effectively denied saying what he said. Mulvaney accused, quote, the media of misconstruing his remarks, and then said, quote, there was absolutely no quid pro quo between Ukrainian military aid and any investigation into the...
And that is exactly what happened. They mixed the words, literally. As you could tell in the beginning, they literally tried doing something. Trump putting an investigation on Democrats is illegal. Literally, there's nothing in the Constitution about that. Literally investigating people who are involved in other countries. Because if that was true, all the Democrats should be out of office. Literally, like I said. And it's just getting annoying that they want to keep pushing this agenda onto us, to people who are under their brainwashing. And that's just not right that they do this to us. They make people want socialism until it turns into Venezuela. And that's what we're looking at here.
2016 election, but that is not what he said at the press conference. In fact, when I directly asked him if there was a quid pro quo, he said, quote, we do that all the time with foreign policy. George, it was interesting that Mulvaney's written statement came after the president's...
As you can tell, they showed no footage of it. Literally, in the entire thing. There's no footage of him saying what he just said. So, as you can tell, the mystery deepens and is revealed, because that's what's going on, and people people aren't really caring and actually knowing this stuff. So yeah.
Outside legal team put out a statement saying that they had nothing to do with his press conference.
Yeah, and the Justice Department said they were surprised as well. It was such a big surprise to see him say that about no quid pro quo, but this press conference was called to announce that the G7 summit was being awarded at President Trump's hotel. Here's what Mulvaney said about that.
So we sat around one night, we were back in the dining room and going over it with a couple of our Vance team. We had the list, and he goes, "What about Doral?" I was like, that's not the craziest idea. It makes perfect sense.
This was a pretty open admission here, and this is, I mean, it's hard to overstate this. This is something we have literally never seen before, a president awarding a huge government contract to his own business.
Yeah, now he said that they're going to do it at cost. He said that they actually went through a process and looked at a dozen different properties and confirmed the president's recommendation to do it at his own property. It is really extraordinary and may end up being part of the impeachment process because it's the president being, doing what the Democrats have accused him of, which is
literally just freaking bringing a whole bunch of a conference or a group of people to his estate to do a meeting isn't illegal either. That's not in the Constitution. That's not in the laws. They're literally trying to impeach him off of false facts. And the media lying to all these brainwashed liberals and Democrats supporters. So yeah, literally they are the corrupt ones, the media, the Democrats, and they don't care. They just want one person who's actually gonna stop them from rising to power. He's the only one that's gonna stop them, and they don't like that he's gonna win 2020 because the polls are high on him winning 2020 more than the Democrats, because the Democrats keep tearing themselves apart, and that's what we're not looking for. We're looking for someone who fights for our country instead of fights for themselves to become president. And that's what Donald Trump's doing. So, in all, I think he should become president because of that.
Doing something that appears at the very least to be for his personal benefit.
Yeah, self-dealing. Okay, John, thanks very much. Let's dig into that now with our chief legal analyst, Dan Abrams, and let's begin right there.
So as you can tell, literally, this is all wrong. The lies in this entire freaking story, there's like 4 or 5 lies that I've caught in the entire video. And literally, that's not what we're looking for. So, should Trump become president? Yes, because he's not wanting to fight for himself to win president. He's not wanting to fight against the Democrats. He's wanting to fight for our country, and that's why he's becoming president. Not for the money, nothing. Literally, Trump does not even freaking use his salary from the presidency. He gives it to, like, the veterans. He is something new he's trying to do. He gives it to American people. People who need it. And literally, he could have made a lot more money in his business than he does as president. That's the thing about it. So those are my thoughts. What's yours? Leave them down in the comments. Also, please like, share, subscribe. Yeah, and subscribe and share this so I can grow this channel to get more patriots on board and hear everything they need to hear about fighting the communists in America. And also, like, share, subscribe, hit that bell beside the subscribe button, and click all, and you will be notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you. See you out there, patriots. This is Brad McDonald signing out.